best and worst look at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding. It has been 6 years since the couple got married, and I did not have this channel at the time. And I thought it would be a great opportunity since recently I did a best and worst review for Catherine and William's wedding, if I did one for Harry and Meghan's wedding as well. And I am so excited to look through some of these looks because one of them is one of my favorite. Actually, I have two that are some of my favorite looks ever. And as well, it is an opportunity to look back on that day. And so you guys will have to let me know what are your best and worst looks. Now, we won't be going over the designers for each and every one of them. Some of them I remember, some of them I don't. And that is because it would take us so long because as I was looking through, because we have the addition of these celebrity guests, there are just so many more people to look at in some ways than Catherine and William's wedding, where we mostly focused on the royals and then a couple other prominent guests as well. So as we go through this list, you guys will have to let me know who do you think had the best and worst looks of the day, because I will let you know my two top picks in each category, and I'd love to know yours as well. But if you guys haven't been to Royal Fashion News, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And we talk about tiaras here, royal fashion. I try to share some unboxings of fashion looks that are inspired by royals. So if you guys want to come back, I would love to have you. So let's start off with the worst column so that we can end on my absolute favorite, because it is one of my favorite looks ever. So first look is Karen Spencer, the wife of Earl Spencer. And I just got to say, this look is really, really harsh. The purple is gorgeous, but I feel like because she's so pale, her hair is so dark and everything, it sort of washes her out and she kind of looks like a what is it? A purple people eater or something like that. Maybe a purple Teletubby or something. I don't know. And not that she's overweight or anything. It's just so much purple. It's so much purple. It's such a stark purple. And I think it leans too much into the kind of not totally, but sort of a vampiric gothic style look in a way because she's so pale, because her hair is so dark and everything. I think if she had picked maybe a bit of a lighter color that went more with spring, I think it would have softened this look quite a bit. It just seems to come off as very harsh to me. So for me, I had to put this on the worst list. So next we have Gabriel Mach's wife, and her name is Jacinda. Jacinda, did I get that right? Jacinda, yes. And I don't know who she is wearing, but I actually absolutely love this look. Now, what's interesting, as I pulled this picture up, I realized it's also more of like a fall, darker color. But I think because she has the blonde hair, it softens the look quite a bit. And she has got maybe a bit more color in her skin. So it's not quite as stark as the purple is. But I do actually really like this. I think this is really flattering. I have a soft spot for burgundy. And I actually love the keyhole cut in the dress because it gives sort of what you consider an otherwise maybe bland-ish look, a bit of an interesting detail. So I do really like this one. So next I have to go with the wife of Idris Elba. Her name is Sabrina. And this look is clearly Gucci. You can tell in the shoes and the dress, it's very much Gucci colors. But I just have to say, I feel like this is too weirdly casual. I don't think the hat works with the dress. I feel like this is something you wear, I don't know, to work or something. It just doesn't really seem fitting for a royal wedding. And I actually do like the shoes. I think those kind of Mary Jane-ish style are really, really cute. But overall, to me, this just screams like I'm going to work or something. It's just too casual. It just does not fit the vibes of a royal wedding. And I think she should have gone with maybe if her hat was different, because you feel like the hat really doesn't match the dress. So I think maybe if her hat was styled maybe and pulled out the green or the red instead of, or maybe the white instead of the navy, that might work a bit better because her accessories there, her shoes are white, her bag is white. It might have worked better if the hat was white too, and maybe a little less or something. It doesn't seem like this outfit goes together at all, even though you can tell, except for probably the hat, it's all Gucci. But again, I think a better look would have served her better here. So next we have on the best dress list, Amal Clooney. And I just got to say, I do love this. It's a great color. I don't know who designed the dress exactly. I think the hat is Stephen Jones. But the color of the dress, this mustard color, is fantastic. I love it. It's just got such a richness to it. I cannot wear that kind of color. It just would not work on me and my complexion. But I think it really, really does work on a mall. This is like an example of, gosh, what is it called? Color Me Mine. That's not really it. There's something to, like, if you can figure out what your coloring is exactly, they, like, color match you, what colors look best on you, and you can tell she has maybe done something like this or just knows what works for her. I also think his suit is very complimentary of her dress, so bravo there. And so I think they just look absolutely fantastic. I don't think they know Harry or Meghan particularly well at this event, but I think she looks great. I think she does look great, so I have to give her mad props, one of the best dressed for sure. So next on the worst dress list, I have to give it to Oprah Winfrey. Although I don't think this dress is necessarily all that bad. I think she would have been better in a darker color because I think lighter colors can tend to add more weight to you. She needs to subtract some. I mean, her bosom looks gigantic. And so it's just I don't think necessarily a great look. The hat's not terrible, but it's not really the style I prefer either. I just don't think the whole look goes together very well. It looks like she has a Gabrielle Hearst bag there. I don't know. The shoes might be Gucci. Not Gucci. Excuse me, Jimmy Choo. And so I think obviously she probably spent a lot of money on that dress. It might be Valentino or something. It looks kind of like that. But I just don't think it's particularly all that flattering. I think it would actually have been much better. The dress style itself isn't bad, but I think it would have been much better served in a darker color for her. And so obviously though it is spring, but something maybe would have been more slimming because right now it just looks very tight. It just doesn't look necessarily hugely flattering. One on the best dress list here, who was on the worst dress list for Catherine Williams' wedding, is Princess Beatrice. I actually really like this dress. I think it's really, really interesting. It almost might seem too much because it's a bit floofy, but it just does look really, really good. I love the teal color. I think it's very complimentary to her. The nude heels are a great compliment. She could have gone with teal. It might have been too much, but I think that would have been lovely as well because nude heels can kind of elongate your leg. And I do like her little fascinator there, which you can't really see, but I think this is actually a really, really good look for her. Let me see if I can get one without her dad in the picture. I think I did find one picture finally. There we go. I think this is a great look from her. I really, really do like it. I don't know if we can totally see the fascinator thing. And she did give us one of the best looks you could say at the wedding where she leaned down with her eyes really large during the sermon going, what's going on? So I love the royals' little reactions to the preacher because they were just like, "What the heck is going on?" Because most people want to be in and out pretty quickly, and obviously things didn't go quite that way. I don't know if I like her bag. I don't think her bag particularly goes. Be cute if she had something that was like a circle or something, but I do like the little bow, the little circle details, like the little balloon things. I think they are pretty cute. So I have to get this thumbs up on one of my best dressed. So here we have Victoria Beckham. And you can't, to be honest, totally see the look of this dress to be perfect, but it's I'm just not a fan of it. She always seems so harsh to me, and that's kind of her thing. But would have been nice to see her soften a bit here. You can tell too, it's weird that the sleeves are split. So her hands are out of the sleeves, but yet you can see the bottom of the sleeve there. I don't know if you can tell. So see that little bit that's like literally the sleeve. So it's a non-purpose sleeve. I don't quite get that. So it's just kind of plain. It's just kind of boring. She wore navy to Catherine Williams' wedding. It wouldn't have, I don't think, killed her to try something a bit different. She is wearing red shoes now, and she's not wearing those horrid Christian Louboutin platform pumps. I hated those pumps. Those things are so ugly. Let's look. I do have another picture of the look here. It's not great, but maybe you get a bit of a closer view. I also don't like her fascinator at all either. She's wearing a very large diamond ring and she's got some red pumps on. I think the red pumps were a good addition. I just think it's kind of dumb to have sleeves. I mean, I guess it means that you can either wear your hands out of the sleeves or within the sleeves. I just think that's kind of silly, personally. So I have to put this one on my worst dress list. And I imagine whole look is by Victoria Beckham with probably the hat by Philip Tracy. I would guess. Maybe I could be wrong. Now, next on the best dress list, I have to give it to Gina Torres here. I actually really, really like this. It almost could lean towards a bit too casual, but she has such an elegance to her. I think she really pulls it off. I think not everybody could pull off this look, but I think the colors are very complimentary. She looks fantastic. The earrings are amazing. The hat is awesome. I think she looks incredible here. She has such a, again, like such an elegant presence to her. I think she pulls off this look really well. So let's look at a full body view. Now, I don't know. It looks like the shoes are just sort of a nude color, but it's again, a nice effect. It could be like more complimentary at the dress a bit? No, I think so, but I love look, the pink and the red, it's just so pretty, isn't it? It's just so pretty. Her earrings look lovely, and I love the hat. She pulls off the hat very well. I've gotta give Gina mad props. She pulls off the hat exceptionally well here. So I have to put her on the best dress list. Her eye makeup looks amazing. She does look absolutely stunning here. So moving on to another member of Suits, we have Sarah Rafferty here. And I do have to put her on the worst dress list, even though this look is not technically all that bad. And I think she is a stunningly beautiful woman. She's a very beautiful woman, especially with the addition of the red hair, which is so unique. But I just don't think this dress is all that flattering. Maybe she should have gone with a different color. And probably why this ended up on the worst dress is these gigantic bell sleeves. I am not a fan of that whatsoever. I do think she's gorgeous, though. I do kind of like the fascinator. It's not bad here, but I just think, and I really think now that I'm looking at it, the lace here and the fascinator should have complemented something in the dress, but I don't see lace in the dress here because you got this big lace detail and then you got sequins. So I don't know if that complements each other necessarily. The nude pumps are pretty standard, so nothing exciting there. But again, I think the bell sleeves are what kills it for me. I think I have another picture of her. Look, hold on. There she is. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I think the color is complimentary. The sleeves are just horrid, though. Those sleeves are horrid. Yeah, she should have left the sleeves at home. So, yeah, not really a fan of the sleeves. So, I think that kind of ruins what would otherwise be a pretty good look. Would have been pretty plain if she just had something that was just like a plain shift dress with the fascinator. She would have had to, I think, go with more drama for the fascinator, but I do like when the neck comes down around the eyes. I think that can be really pretty. But I think also too, she's so beautiful. I think she's really a beautiful woman. So next on the best dress list is Cressida Bonus, who dated Harry for a while, maybe was towards the altar of marrying him. But I love this dress. It seems really busy, but there's just something about it that I just really kind of love. I think it just looks stunning. I mean that detail there is a little weird. Some of it's a little weird, but from a distance, I love these colors. And her fascinator is a great complement to the dress because it is sort of like low key while the dress is sort of wild. But I just really do like this dress. I don't know why I like it so much, but I really do. I kinda hate the thing on the shoulder, but the rest of it is just so fun, and I like the heels as well. The heels are good. I wonder what she's wearing there because I actually wouldn't mind those heels now. But I think this is actually a great look for her, so bravo. I think she looks stunning, and think she's probably maybe not at the time because you never know what people are thinking at the time, but afterwards, after everything that has happened with Harry and Meghan, I'm sure she's thinking to herself, man, did I dodge a bullet there? I think she really did. She's now happily married. She has a son, I believe, and she got a better looking Harry because the guy she married is also named Harry. So I think she ended up with the better looking Harry, to be quite honest. So bravo to Cressida. And I think this look, although it is a bit odd and quirky, actually looks really complimentary to her. So next on the worst dress list, I do have to give it to Pippa Middleton, who Nay Matthews. So Nay Middleton, now Matthews. I just don't really like the skirt detail here. The rest of it's okay. It's nothing super exciting, but I just sort of hate this pleated detail with the different color. I just really don't like it. Otherwise, the dress isn't bad. The fascinator isn't all that bad either. I think the tones complement each other but very well. But again, the skirt here just ruins it for me. The pleating detail with the other it's just yeah, something. Apparently this dress is from the fold. So I have to put this on my worst dress list. Somebody else may love it and that is perfectly fine, but it is not a dress for me. Next on the best dress list here is Chelsy Davy, another one of Harry's exes who he dated for like 7 years. She started dating him, I think, when she was a teenager. So they were sort of young loves. And this definitely is a redemption from her look at Catherine and William's wedding, which was an absolute mess. I don't know what the heck happened with that outfit, but it was terrible. But she does not look bad here at all. I like the navy and I like the dress. The shoes are nice. And so I think the fascinator may be a little much, but I think she just looks so much better here. This is a very classy ensemble, so I think she looks good. She also has a child now, so everybody's sort of moving on and probably like, okay, so Meghan got Harry. We are perfectly fine with that. So I do think this look in particular, I think is really great. So I just have to give her props. I think it's really complimentary and much, much better than what she wore at Catherine and Williams' wedding. So next we have on the worst dress list is Princess Eugenie. And I just number one, I don't really like pillbox hats. They're overall, they're not a hat I tend to gravitate to or really like all that much, number 1. But number 2, I just don't think this dress is all that complimentary on her. I feel like it needs something. I don't know if it's a belt, I don't know if it's greater detailing, I don't know what. Maybe it should be longer or something. Like, there's almost a part of me that thinks it should be a bit longer. I don't know either as well if it's fitted around the waist like it should be, because maybe it could be cinched in a bit more and give her more of a compliment. I just really don't like this look. Looks like I would imagine this is Amelia Wickstead. That's what it looks like. The shoes are definitely Valentino. You got the rock studs there. I don't know whose bag that is, but overall, I just do have to give this dress a bit of a thumbs down for me personally. I think the color is really great. I think the color is really complimentary as spring, but the overall look for me, just not my favorite. And on the other best dress list, I'm giving it to Zara. Although this is not the best thing in the world. She is like 9 months pregnant here. So I think she looks pretty gosh darn good for being 9 months pregnant. So I'm going to put her on the best dress list. It's not my overall favorite look ever, but I think given the constraints of her pregnancy, I think this is a fabulous look. I think she was pregnant with Lena here, and so I think it looks good. You got the teal there. I think the teal is great. But yeah, not definitely on the top of my list, but I think because she was pregnant, babies are here. And she also gave us one of the other great, like, meme worthy moments of the ceremony where she's leaning back and you can tell she's like, am I in labor so I can get this service over quicker? And she's like, what the heck is happening? I love that look from her. It's so great. So bravo to Zara. And I was almost thinking I was at the end here and I was like, oh, do I have the right ones for the end? But we have another one to add to the worst dress list, and that is Fergie, the Duchess of York. This is just not very flattering. I hate the pink trim. I just don't think that works. I think it's a bit, she should choose maybe a different silhouette. It looks like that's about to pop open there. It's just, Fascinator isn't bad, not the best, but I just don't think this is very good. Oh, I guess she has Eugenie and probably Beatrice on that bracelet there. Navy pump. So nothing too exciting, but also not all that great either. So I do have to put this on my worst dressed. And another for the best dress list, of course, is Doria, Megan's mom. I think she actually looked really good. This was an Oscar de la Renta outfit. I think this actually was very appropriate. She looked good for the ceremony and stuff. So I do have to put this on my best dress list. I think the color is great. It was very springy, and she's wearing hose there. So obviously following all the royal protocol. So she is looking good here. So I do have to give her props. This is a good look. So yes, Doria goes on the best dress list. So I'm trying to sort of fill the last little bit so I can make sure I can go on and off best and worst and best and worst. So I have to probably I put this on my worst initially. I wasn't going to include it, but I think I am, and that's Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. She was actually the Countess of Wessex here, and I just don't. I imagine this is a Susanna outfit. I just don't particularly like it. The skirt is lovely. I'm not really sure about the shirt up here or the top, whatever it happens to be. I do really like the fascinator though. I think the fascinator is really cool, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling this. I don't really have a great answer, but yeah, I'm not really totally feeling it. I think a different top, because I feel like this sort of ages her, this top. So maybe something a little bit more. Obviously, you still have to be within the constraints of what you need to have to be in a Church of England, but something maybe a little bit more modern would maybe have been a bit better here. But other than that, it's definitely not a terrible look at all. But yeah, that would be my only critique there. And of course, who can forget the Princess of Wales and Alexander McQueen? She has this outfit in at least 3 different colors. Honestly, I will have to say that this particular silhouette, or the particular thing with the folded lapels, is not my favorite. But being like 3 weeks postpartum, she looks fantastic. She looks absolutely fantastic. I thought the yellow color was very, very good for spring. Now, it could dip a little into looking too close to white. And knowing Meghan, she could have held this against Catherine. But I think overall, this was a good choice. Maybe Catherine dyed her white dress and it just didn't get as yellow as they were hoping it would. Either way, I think it looks greatly and very, very complimentary. I think it looks lovely. She looks lovely there with little Charlotte. Charlotte, who had the I want to say the hem from hell. Like you could tell, like they literally cut the hem of Charlotte's poor dress before she walked out there. It looks so bad. But Catherine, I think, looks great. And considering that she just had a child a couple weeks ago, her third one, I think she looks very, very good, very sophisticated, and very much like the future Queen of England. So now this was getting hard because I was kept thinking, okay, what is are my worst looks? Because I debated between two. So these two could almost, you could say, hold the bottom spot together because I dislike them strongly for different reasons. But the first one I have to say I strongly dislike, and it's definitely on my worst dress list. One of the worst dressed of the event is Priyanka Chopra. I think she looks ridiculous. I hate this thing up above. I think this thing looks awful. I hate the hat. You almost feel like she took the drama of a royal wedding and went way too far with it because you got the drama, crazy drama with the hat here, crazy drama with the top of the skirt suit, and it just does not work. I think she looks completely and utterly ridiculous. I don't like it at all. I cannot even say how much I dislike this look. I just really, 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 really do. Just don't think it looks particularly flattering. I think it looks it's almost screams, look at me, look at me. And ironically, as far as we're aware, Priyanka and Meghan Markle have not shared a word really since the wedding. And here's another look, and you can see a bit of the detail in the fascinator here. And it's like trying to explode out the earrings too. It's just like feels like too avant-garde and that you went too over the top with it. I always like, try to streamline things down a smidge. Don't go so over the top. And I think with an avant-garde style top like this, it would have been much better to go with a demure fascinator rather than one with flowers exploding out of it. Uh, with a weird angle and everything. Again, I just feel like she went way too far. This is a Dior clutch, in case you're wondering. Don't know who the shoes belong to. And to her right is Abigail Spencer. This is one of Megan's friends who she's actually still friends with. And this look is definitely not bad. This is an Alessandra Riche dress. I kind of hate Alessandra Riche overall because it's way too much 80s fashion for me. I don't particularly like it. This isn't bad. Catherine actually owns the same dress. I kind of hate drop waists and stuff. So it's not my favorite either, but it's not terrible. It can almost lean into being too casual. But Priyanka definitely with this, whatever the heck this is, way, way, way too much. Just as simple is better. It is better because this is just, yeah, lots of going on. All right, guys. So one of my absolute favorite looks from the wedding, which I've loved forever, and I almost bought the shoes once because they were on sale somewhere on some sort of website. And I'm still sad I missed out on them. Is the wife of James Blunt? I can't remember what her name is now, and her look from Red Valentino because I had to look it up because I was curious who made it, and her Jimmy Choo pumps here. I love these pine looking pumps. I don't know why. And I love the dress and her fascinator. The colors here are gorgeous. I don't know, like I just love this look so much. I love it so much. It's so pretty. I don't know why, but it's just so pretty. It just makes me happy every time I see it. I love embroidery and stuff and like yes, you could say extra details kind of like Priyanka's, but I don't like avant-garde. I love classic silhouettes, classic looks. I love the embroidery here, the colors. I love how she complemented and pulled out the pine color in the dress and the shoes. I think that was a perfect complement. And then pulled out the under color, so the fabric underneath the overlay of the embroidery, she pulled that color out in her fascinator. So this was a great look from her. I just think that it was absolutely fantastic. And let me see what her name is real quick. Her name is Sophia Wellesley, and I just again huge props. I've always loved this. Absolutely love this. So let's get a close up of her because she just looks really, really stunning in this. And then again, this is an example of dressing really for your shape, for your coloring and everything. Hit it out of the park. And there she is again. Oh, gosh, I want this dress so bad. I actually will try to look for this dress and maybe the shoes on the real and see if I can find them. Because again, I just think, oh, he deserves to be smiling. She looks absolutely incredible. Just absolutely have always loved this dress, but it's not my best dress. We will get to that in a minute. And like I said, guys, this was hard to choose because I didn't like Priyanka's dress either, but there's an aspect to this look that I just was like, ugh, didn't really like at all. So I have to put for my worst dress list, I have to give it to Serena Williams. I don't like the fascinator. I think it looks weird. This weird chunky necklace doesn't fit the dress either, like at all. It should have been a better neckline because she has an asymmetrical neckline. So, best for an asymmetric neckline to not have a necklace, let alone a massive chunky necklace. The dress itself is not bad, I will say, but I don't think the accessories here, the fascinator, the necklace, really do her any favors at all. And here's another look at it, and you can tell too the necklace is dipping below the neckline of the dress, which again shows that this necklace really isn't meant for this dress. I think if she had it more as almost a choker, it might have been better. And I just think the fascinator is just bad. I just don't think the fascinator is all that great. Don't think it's really all that complimentary. The color isn't bad, but yeah, I just don't think the accessories here really complement the look at all. And here's the creme de la creme. And I sort of debated putting it on as my worst look, but I think I'll still have to go with it. And this is sort of why I don't like the really, really, really long hair past the tushy. I don't like that. I don't really like that on anyone. I just think having super duper, really, really, really long hair is just kind of necessary unless you're donating it to cancer victims or something. It's just a lot of hair. And when you sit down, where does that hair go? Because I had somebody on a flight and she had really long hair and her hair kind of got caught in the seat behind her. And so she's having tried, and I had tried to help her too, fish her hair out. And I was like, you know, if you're gonna have really, really long hair, you just gotta be careful with those kind of things because it's on a flight. You can't guarantee what somebody's gonna do. But I just think it's just not all that great. And so I wish she had gone with, I mean, she can still have long hair, but down to the mid back, I think is better than past the tushy, in my opinion. So, and I don't really like the shoes either. So again, guys, I have to put this on as my worst pick of the day. So let me know what you think. Should I have gone with Priyanka? I'm debating. I really don't like Priyanka's look either. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Did I choose wrong? Did I choose wisely or poorly? But when it comes to my best look of the event, I know I chose wisely. And that is Lady Kitty Spencer's look from Dolce and Gabbana. I love this dress. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love the square neckline, and it's sort of a wide square neckline. Yeah, it's very demure. I think they hand painted or somebody hand painted these flowers on this dress. I love the color. I love her fascinator. I love the net in front of her face. I think Bulgari might be supplying her jewelry because she has a deal with them or had a deal with them. But the color is so complimentary. The makeup is gorgeous and stunning. I love the shoes, and they're orange and they kind of complement the orange in the dress. This is dressing. This is fashion. I love it. I love it. It looks so great together. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Just love it. Yes, I get so excited. I love this look. I've always loved this look forever and ever. It was like my favorite at the time, in addition to Sophia's, I think her name was. Oh, I already forgot. And so, between the two of them, they were my two favorites, but I do have to give it to Lady Kitty Spencer. Again, I think she looks phenomenal in this. And here is another look of her dress and the earrings. I mean, they could have been a bit long, but I mean, again, everything looks so good and so well balanced here. Because I think the fascinator is great. She could have maybe gone with different jewelry. I do think she uses a bit of lip filler, to be quite honest. She's got a bit of that pout. Started looking a little bit bad here recently. But again, I think this look is stunning. The clutch here is perfect. Again, Dolce& and Gabbana totally styled this outfit for her, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. So I have to give them absolute man props. It looks amazing. Her necklace, jewelry, all of it together, stunning. Best dressed at Harry and Meghan's wedding. Now, when it comes to the bride herself, I will have to say, in the span of royal wedding dresses, I have put Meghan's on the worst list, and I still stand by it. I think it was sort of shapeless. There was nothing interesting about it. She tried to make the veil interesting, but the veil wasn't that interesting either. And the veil didn't make a ton of sense. If you know anything about royals, the veil honestly did not make a ton of sense because the veil was, she was representing all the Commonwealth countries around the edge of the veil because they were the president and vice president are going to be at the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. And so it was like she wanted to show her in laws how much she was going to embrace this rule in the Commonwealth. But the only royal who ever put the Commonwealth flowers on a dress was the Queen of England at her coronation. So it seems little much for Meghan to do the same, to be quite honest, guys. So I never really liked it. I never really liked her wedding look. I thought it was too bland and boring. Her makeup, it was more of a natural look, but at the same time, too, it just underwhelmed. I would say overall, Meghan's wedding look to me was incredibly underwhelming. And the veil looked absolutely ridiculous with how long it was. Compared to the dress, it dragged, it bunched. And all I kept thinking of that veil is gonna get wrecked being dragged everywhere. So, I honestly, guys, as well, I'm not like an absolute huge fan of Catherine's look. My favorite wedding looks of all time, if you are ever curious, is Beatrice Borromeo. She is an Italian aristocrat, and she married Pierre Cazzaraghi, son of Princess Caroline of Monaco. Also love Crown Princess Victoria, Princess Eugenie, Princess Beatrice, and I can't think of anybody else at the top of my head right now. But those are some of my favorite wedding looks. Meghan's definitely doesn't make the top tier. I appreciate Catherine's more over time as I think it's more timeless. Meghan's just it needed something because it was so bland. Her jewelry was so bland. The tiara was nice, but it was also sort of underwhelming. So everything about Meghan wedding look was underwhelming. But when it comes to the best dress look, I have to give it to Lady Kitty Spencer. Worst dress, I think, is still competition between Priyanka and Serena Williams. So, guys, let me know what you think. Did I get it right? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye.